Hi, this is Stacy Marshall with Printwear magazine. We're here with Larry Lawley from Data-Stitch speaking about embroidery thread. Larry, thanks for being here.
You're quite welcome.
What are some popular thread weights a shop should always have on hand?
Well, for embroiderers, it's a standard to have a 40 weight, 120 two-ply thread.
Okay.
You don't want to vary from those sizes because in most cases, stock designs are set up for that size of thread.
Okay.
So we don't want light embroidery, we don't want heavy embroidery, we want the right embroidery.
Okay.
And 120, 40 weight thread gives you that.
Okay, great. Can you explain the differences between polyester and rayon thread?
Yeah, that's a good question because we get asked that a lot.
Okay.
So there are benefits to both threads. Poly being a stronger thread,
Sure.
rayon being a softer thread.
Okay.
Okay. Poly thread tends to break less on the embroidery machines because all embroidery machines will break thread.
Yeah.
Poly will break less.
Okay.
Poly is a much stronger thread, a much durable thread. So if your work is uniforms, overalls, coveralls,
Something heavier,
oil field type stuff,
Okay.
subject to chemicals and
Sure.
harsh environments,
Yep.
poly's great. If you're doing the back of tractor seats, poly's great. Carpet, poly's
Yeah.
great. Rayon thread is a softer thread, more delicate thread, a more brilliant thread.
Sure.
The luster and the shine. So in polys, we tend to have a duller thread. In rayons, a more brilliant thread. So you can think if we were doing a lion's head
Sure.
or a tiger's head,
Yeah.
brilliant colors.
Yep.
You're going to see that brilliance with rayon. Poly a little duller.
Okay.
But rayon also has other characteristics. Since it's a softer thread, it's better for your embroidery machine.
Okay.
Poly thread will wear out certain consumable parts on that embroidery machine quicker.
Okay.
So it's like a fishing line, poly thread.
Yeah.
So wherever it touches over time, we'll end up cutting grooves.
Okay.
But they're minor problems, replace a few parts, keep an eye on that kind of stuff.
Okay. Great. Do you think a shop should source their thread from one supplier, or does it make sense for them to source from multiple suppliers?
It's always nice to have a supplier with a huge color card
Yep.
and right around the corner. And sometimes that's not possible.
Right.
But you kind of want to stay with that one supplier. It's hard to do because maybe that supplier doesn't have a certain metallic, or maybe that supplier doesn't have a certain shade of red or
Right,
something
right.
like that. But the benefit of staying with one supplier is from year to year, those colors will be consistent.
Right. Right.
And you just don't want to get in situations where you run a bunch of embroidery one year, the next year you run it, you change suppliers, and that shade of blue is slightly different.
Okay.
So very important probably to stay
Stick
with
to
one
one if you
supplier
can.
if you can.
Great. One last question for you. With all of these open cones of thread, how do you deal with loose ends?
That is also a good question. And I go into a lot of shops and you see thread in the corner
Sure.
and bird's nests and everything tangled,
Yep.
or they've got Scotch tape and they've taped little pieces of thread, getting little stickies everywhere.
Yep.
But there's a real simple trick. If you pull the thread off the cone
Yep.
and make a swing. So here we got our little swing.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 turns.
Okay.
Over the top, pull the thread, and you can break it with your finger, and you have a nice little knot. And that will stay there. Throw your thread in your pile of thread,
Sure.
and it'll be ready for your next time.
Fantastic.
No waste at all.
Good deal. Larry, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Stacy.